Hello, YouTube. I would suggest anybody that sees this video just join the room because I'm gonna stop doing these 11 o'clock YouTube videos as well because what I've been doing in the room is way too valuable, and I don't get a lot of play on the YouTube anyway. And by 11 o'clock, you need to hear me talk about all the winners that we had that you missed out on, or you want to be part of the winners. Because I don't know, this has become now to the point where it's almost annoying. And if it's annoying to me, it must be real annoying to others. Because do you really want to sit here and have another after the fact stock market commentary show? Or you want to be involved in the names and make the money and then have the conversation? So if you're actually out there watching me on YouTube and you haven't joined the room yet, what are you waiting for? I've been doing this my whole life. I've never been as good as I am now. And now I'm retired. So I get to now really, truly help people. That's my essence. It's always been, but now it is truly all I live for. I know where the market's going. I don't have to day trade as much as I used to. I do my 1 or 2, make money, and then I'm here to help you. Ask questions, be a part of what I'm doing so you can do this 20 years from now and be in a position where you can help others. Trade when you want, not because you need to. And when you're trading from a power position like that, where you don't care if you trade or not, that's when you make money. When you don't care and you have zero fear, zero FOMO, you're in a great place. Hey, is Wascally Wabbit still here? The parameters are grabbing more data from 1 o'clock in the morning prior. And that's all I'm going to tell you. It's a secret, but I give it to you when you join the room. Here, you see what the circle just did? It went under 122.50, right? So if that was your stop on what you had left, this trade is over for you, right? It broke 122.50. You're done, which is okay. It's a fantastic trade, right? But the trader who's in it from the 115, the 118, or let's say the 118 break, where I was, again, mildly suggesting that if you haven't gotten involved, you still got a chance. If you bought the 118, your risk tolerance is a little bit different. You sold some 120, you sold 122.50, 125, 122.50 might have been your out. But if you're in it now from a really good price, the only real reason to dump the stock is the 120 break right now because it's more significant than the 122.50. Holy shit, AGQ's up 20 points. Wow. Man. Oh, I think we lost him. Don't be that guy. Don't be the guy that doesn't understand what's happening here and not ask questions to grasp what's happening. Don't be that guy. Don't be that person. Don't come here for half an hour and say, I didn't understand what was going on, so I left. You got 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Give it every second of every time, as much as you can. Because listen, if you didn't understand what was going on between 8 and 8:30 or 8:30 and 9 or 9 and 9:30, this just happened. This trade developed again here at 10:30 and 11, and then 11:15, 11:30, and then here at 11. And it's a brand new trade. And that's a big thing. I mean, I don't know. That's the only way I can describe it. If you're going to give me 15 minutes of your time, I'm sorry, I might not be able to impress you in the first 15 minutes of your first moment with me. Give me at least 2 hours, 3 hours, 3 hours. If you've been with me for 3 hours, is anybody not impressed with what we're laying down right here? This trade developed 3 different times, and now look how nice it is. And you see why you don't sell, right? See, now you sold the 122.50, but if you left some on with the 120 stop, you just made another 8 points on the trade because you don't sell it all at one price. And when I say the stock could go to 500, I know that sounds ridiculous, but it doesn't. If you don't think this stock could go to $500 today, why? Because you think that's too much or overvalued or ridiculous? Nothing is ridiculous in a market that only goes up. We're already in a ridiculous market. You got to start thinking every stock's about to go 20x every single day until it stops happening. 10% is a fart. This thing could be at 250 by the end of the day. Let it breathe a couple of points for on your last 100 shares or whatever you got. And what I don't want to make this about is the Hymex trade. It's already up 100% since we started talking about it. I love it. There's no reason to not love it. It's an Andy Dufresne from hell, right? But it's already done a lot of that work that we were anticipating. 12 got us 22 already. It's insanity, Hannity. But because we're in this environment now, consolidation above 1750, you got to think it's about to go to literally $50 because that's what stocks have been doing lately. So, but I don't want this to be about, hey man, you told me about that Hymex trade. I bought it at 21 and it went to $15 3 days later. I got crushed. Hymex swing is the 930th thing on my list. I don't care about this stock. I don't even want to own it. I want to make money now, take the money, and then live to play tomorrow because there'll be 30 other things that we could do. I'd rather just crush Monday, buy Circle, make as much money as I can, and then put it all in the Qs. Because that, I'm convinced, the Qs are going to be, right now, again, at the trajectory that we're on right now, we're talking about $1,000 by the 4th of July weekend, which sounded absurd about a month and a half ago. And here we are, where it's in reach. I don't think it's going to happen, but there ain't no reason to sell. But this ain't going to be about swing trading. That's just, again, you can't find a couple of swing trades in this environment. You shouldn't even be shouldn't be in the industry. ASTS, I don't even have to look at a chart. Buy it. It's going 120, especially after it got attacked a couple of times. It just trapped new shorts. This thing's going to destroy everybody in its path. When this thing, and by the way, when it breaks 130, it'll go to $250 a share. This is just a big faux show moment. Just like SMCI was, just like every sell-off or whatever bullshit news they throw at it. It doesn't matter. We're not going down. But look at that chart right there, right? That's something that looks like it's about to roll over. So again, as a swing trade, I have no doubt this thing's going all-time highs probably this year. Day trade, you had a pivot at 81.60 and your VWAP is 80. Those would be your stops. All right, so that brings me to my favorite part of the day. For me, the day was over before it even got started because I'm one and done now. I'm one and done. Monday short work. I haven't done anything since. Then I'm here to help. Then I'm here to serve. So, but after 2 hours of fantastic trading, it's over. Right? It's over. You have to call it at some time. Right? So now the only trade that's on is the ones that you're already in. You're not looking for new idea generation going into the middle of the day between 12 and 3. Can you trade between 12 and 3? Sure. I wouldn't, because you have less of an advantage. Coming back at 3 to 4, it's a different environment because usually having follow through of the consolidation that usually is between 12 and 3. But we're in a bull market. It never goes down. You want to be doing less and less. And the trades you're in are still the same trades. Hymex long, LPTH long, Circle long, Qs long, Monday short. I think it was still a short. I'm not even sure because I'm not in it anymore, but let me go check it. You know, again, I was pretty content with blue line, orange line. By the way, I know a lot of these conversations they're so important, but they just slip through because we're talking about a lot of stuff. Do you guys see what's going on with gold and silver? It's not about them going up, right? It's about why they're going up. They're going up at the complete opposite time from when they're quote unquote supposed to. Safe haven, uncertainty, right? But now what are they? They're just tech stocks. So it's also telling you something else, right? Don't try to make sense of any of this ever again. Everything that we've been conditioned to believe or think is wrong. Especially selling in May and going away. That hasn't worked in 12 years. You buy in May and stay. Maybe pray. And the reason this market's not going down is that each sector that hasn't rallied will rally. Space rockets and robots still hasn't got done rallying, right? You're just coming back on the quantum stocks, right? Semis, what? Just because they're up 700%, aren't they going to keep going? Of course they are. Rare earths still have to happen, right? And then you're going back to quantum. Next thing you know, what's happening? Oh, right, the LITEs are happening, right? Photonics. And then they'll take a break and they go back to the quantum names. Next thing you know, it's nuclear. Still need the nuclear power to power the quantum generation of the chips and the semis. And one thing will feed on the next, and the next thing, and the next thing, and next thing, and we're up another 100% from here. No doubt. So if you're going to short something, it better look like this Monday chart. 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversals on, it's actually not a reversals, but, and now you tell if we're still in a bull market, lunar. Think of it as a lunatic. This stock is a lunatic. This company does nothing, serves no purpose, doesn't have contracts with NASA. Their rockets don't work, and if they got to the moon, they just fell over into a cliff. They don't have hydraulics. This company is a fraud, and the stock's gone from 6 now, and it goes up every day, from $7 to $32. They don't even do anything. So until you stop seeing this kind of nonsense, we're in a runaway bull market, which we're always in. Like I said, March 31st began a new bull market. We're good for at least, 18 months to 3 years? We're only 30 days in. So if you mention the stock, take a deep breath. If air fills your lungs, I'm probably going to be bullish about it because there ain't nothing going down. Oh, yeah. Did you guys do the bull market test? Did you guys do the bull market test? Look outside. Did the sun come up? Bull market. Now do the extra test, right? Ready? Air. Yeah, there's air there. All right, good. Still bull market. So when the sun doesn't rise tomorrow and there's no air, then maybe the bull market's over. It's always on, as Mom's trying to say. Stocks like Lunar, really. Company does nothing. That's why you try to make sense of some of this stuff, right? Stocks are supposed to go up on what? Earnings per share, right? You know how much money they make? They hemorrhage $40 million a day. That's their business model. They burn money, literally. And the stock goes up every day. What's it tell you? Stop trying to make sense of it. And anytime you're in a trade and it's working for you, just put the song on and just raise your stop.
You know, I was wondering if you keep on, because the force, it's got a lot of power and it makes me feel like...
Because we're never going to stop, baby! So anyway, you guys get it now, right? Some of you guys get it. The guy that left within 5 minutes, he doesn't get it. He's never going to get it. And that's okay. You didn't give me enough time, right? But if you gave me another half an hour, if he would have given me another half an hour of his time, he'd be in the circle. He'd be in the Hymex. He'd be in the light path. Maybe you'd even be long the queues. And this whole day would be different. Maybe you'd be in the NVTS. Maybe you'd understand. So if you guys, I mean, I'm talking to the right people right now. If you came in on your first day, did you ever go learn a different language? You ever go to a class? I once took Russian to see if I could learn Russian. I walked in, everyone's talking Russian. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And the teacher said, we're talking Russian, so we get used to it. We'll get into lesson soon. I'm like, well, I have no idea what you're saying. I need to get some basics here. We'll get into it. And then he starts talking Russian. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm just going to sit here while these guys are talking Russian. And then we got into the lesson. And we started learning some basics. And it's a very hard language, and I never went back. But I made a mistake. Now I can't learn Russian. If I would have stayed a couple of days, I'm sure I would have learned a couple of lessons like Babushka, spasiba za pодарок. Know what that means? It's the one thing I learned that day. It was Grandma, thank you for the present. See, now I learned something. I learned как дела. That means come here. Хорошо. See? So if you're going to come in here in an active trading environment, bewildered, okay, right? You can be bewildered, but don't be bewildered and leave in a huff. Well, this is clearly not working. Should I expected this guy to give me 30 years of education in the first 5 minutes that I walked in the door? Give me at least 2 hours. Как дела? How you doing? Yeah, what'd I say? I know a few other phrases. But hopefully that guy circles back and understands, right? But also come to the understanding about this Hymex trade, because I saw somebody was talking about how much they hated it on Friday. I'm like, we just got in. What's the hate? It popped and then it rolled over just like any other trade, right? Made some money and then you had to sell it. It's a nice day for it. The 1750 break. Sometimes they actually do go down and then you get out and then you come back the next day. Oh, yeah. And it's the same trade now. I think it's going to 2250. I don't know. Sure looks like it's going to 2250, but if it breaks 2150, I'd probably sell it if I'm a day trader and the 21. Again, that's why I'm trying to make sure I'm differentiating between your day trading, swing trading, and investment. The swinger ain't selling this thing unless it breaks $20 today. Day trader, you're dying to sell this thing. You're waiting to see if it gets to 22, 2250. You raise your stop. And if you call yourself an investor, none of this matters to you. You're just thinking it's going to $50. So that's why I'm trying to give you an education, 3 educations all at the same time. So it is a lot. And then all around this trade that works every single time, which was the Monday short. And I'm not even in the trade anymore. It was like 5 points ago. I left a lot of money on the table. But you know what I'm not doing, right? Shorting the Qs. Yeah, so you got your fake out, shake out again on CEG. But remember, last time it got rejected at VWAP. So if you did buy it, you got to be a seller here. And then your stop is below this last range, which is this 295. See, and by 1140, we get another whole different moment. See, now we're just talking about what we did, what we're still in, how to manage the trades. It's an ongoing educational seminar or symposium, if you will. But congratulations if you held NVTS, man. Looked like I was actually rolling over when it broke back down to 1750. Yeah, good luck rolling over. Hey, remember all those trades that weren't working when the day that you traded them, and then you go back and look where Tesla is now. Remember the earnings day? We were struggling to make a couple of points on the long side. Yeah, what's up? 70 points since then. Yeah, there's. It's only Monday. Yeah, Monday was the only short. Hey, remember the hood trade when we were chopping around for a couple of days? Didn't want to work, and then it followed through the next day. I mean, if you do to it, if you're in a trade like Light Path, you know, maybe you didn't do the long trade on Friday, you came in today. It's very rare for any stock to go down 3 days in a row. And if they report earnings and they don't fight back that first day, go check them the next day, especially and then a day after. So listen, this circle trade is just ridiculous, right? I mean, this was 6 points after the main entry. You still got 10 points out of it. You see this trade, this is next class. All we're going to talk about is this trade right here. Because if you understand what happened here on Circle, you'll understand trading and you'll make money on it next time. Gapped up stock, you play the fade first, just like Akamai. You understand the market never goes down, so you're waiting for the turn. When does the turn start? Generally a fake out, shakeout. When do you really know it's about to turn? Fake out, shakeout, VWAP break. Comes back to the VWAP, holds it, creates a new opportunity. Fake out, shakeout, fake out, shakeout, fake out, shakeout, VWAP, hold. And that's why, for my friend that didn't give me enough time, here's where I was like, hey, you want to trade? Buy this stock right now at 119 for the next leg up. And pretty sure that person has left and probably never to return. And somewhere that person now is talking about me. Hey, this guy, Kenny, man, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure about this guy. He might be a fraud. I'm not too sure about this guy. I didn't hear any clear cut entries. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if this VWAP trade works. Yeah. I'm not too sure about this guy. I mean, I might have to write a scathing email or harass him on the internet now when he says he does a good job by trading. And that's how enemies are formed, by misinformation and moments of time where you didn't get the true effect or truly understood what was going on. Because that person might be out there right now asking for their money back, thinking that I've done something wrong, where I did nothing wrong and I did everything right. Couldn't have been a better day. Nah, could have been better, I guess, but pretty freaking special. It's two different platforms. Yeah, it's Lightspeed running simultaneously next to the Thinkorswim. You see all those stocks that are making new highs, right? That's all those names, the light path names. What would I do with Rambus? Sell half. If you're expiring on Friday. Right, but the microphone was working. That was the most important thing. If we're completely dead, then it's hard. By the way, Q's new highs. There you go. There you go. Use new highs, by the way. You get it? That's why you don't short them. My daughter's still moonwalking across the room. By the way, does anybody know about NVTX? This is NVTS's big brother on steroids. It's just nuts. Look at this thing. Wow. I'll be right back. I want to go see if I can find that guy before he starts writing emails about me. Hey, so just like the last 30 days in a row, right? 90% of what's going to happen today is over, right? You're still in the same trades now. Circle, nothing's changed. The Q's long, nothing's changed. Hymex, nothing's changed. Light path, nothing's changed. I'm not going to start going down the list of swing trades. It's almost irrelevant at this point. But the main part of what you want to do, like the trades that work every time, they worked every time. So circle now turning into the trade of the year because this was a monster. And, each entry provided another winning trade, and it's still providing for you right now. So my suggestion, right, is review these trades, but try to do less and less because the day right now, like I said, is right back to what our normal scheduled program is, right? Take the high quality earnings reversal trades, pattern recognition meets gap reversion, VWAP trading. We won, right? And the trades are still on. And you're long the Qs. There isn't anything left to do except for sit back, raise your stop to 127.50 on circle, assume it's going up another 20 points from here, unless it breaks 127.50. But now you got to 130. Maybe you're selling some here, or you just raise your stop to 127.50 to lock in, expecting it to go to 150. Nobody's shorting the Qs, right? You're all long the Qs because nothing's changed since, right? We're only selling at prior day VWAP, not at prior day VWAP, right? So again, target remains 720. And then 750 by Friday, 800 by next Monday. Not even trying to exaggerate. So if you're going to, if you're just a day trader, you just you just adjust your areas, right? If you're swinging Qs, it's the orange line. You're day trading, blue line. You're dying to sell, tops of ranges where we broke out from, which is the peak right there. So now, to the guy that left, this is how I do it. To anybody that still remains, right? This is how we do it. It's not about where it's going now. We're just assuming it's going to 720 by the end of the day, right? The only if is if it breaks 113.58, I would sell a little bit more. But you don't sell your entire position unless it breaks back under VWAP today, which might happen. But that's how you trade. You have your idea, 714.59, chances are that's not going to be the high of the day. Maybe it is. So you put your stops at the ranges, tops of the ranges where you broke out from. I like when tops and ranges and bottoms of candles meet. So to me, that's a more important area right there. And then the VWAP. So those are your three new stops for the Qs. And you see how the circle trade, if you kept multiple stops on, they got you out of some of it, but they didn't get you out of all of it. And that's why even on the pullbacks, so if you use the 120 and the 122.50 and the 125, you sold 125, and then it pulled back to get the 122.50 person, but then the 120 person's still involved. Same scenario now. Now that it broke 130, you're raising 127.50, 125. Pulls back to 127.50, maybe it gets you, but don't sell the rest unless it breaks 125, because you have to factor in the stocks going up another 19 points from here. And that's it. It's just really the middle of the day is just for adjusting what you're probably in already. It's really not for new ideas. You're not here to churn your account. You're here to do as little as possible, milk the trades that you're in. And that's usually what we do, you know, here between 12 and 3. We'll go over some trades. We'll have a little bit of a conversation about, what happened. But right now, if you're not in the circle on a full blown reversal, now you know why these are my favorite trades. And let's say this is your favorite. And again, it's sad. It's sad for me. It's sad for that person. It's sad for anybody who didn't take advantage of the circle trade today because it's irresponsible, right? Especially if you were gracious enough to give me your time and you got here. You clicked on a few buttons. We had a glitch in the morning where my screen wasn't showing. I couldn't even log into the website at first, but the voice was working. But if you would have just waited, because we fixed the glitch within 40 minutes, and then we were up and running, this trade really started getting going at 11 o'clock. That last 11 points. Thanks. Hey, so you know what's going to happen tonight, right? Rigatoni's going to report earnings. I'm telling you now, right? What's going to happen? It's going to gap down on earnings because they don't have any. And then it's going to fall a little bit more, and then it's going to shake everybody out, and then it's going to turn, and then it's going to break VWAP and rally 4 points. And I know it already. So I'm telling you that trade today. Tonight, Rigatoni reports. Tomorrow morning, they're going to faux show bro it, and it's going to rip 40% after they shake people out. How do I know that's going to happen? Because they just did it with Circle. This trade on Circle is every trade that's going to happen for the next decade. They're going to try to shake people out. We're not going to go down. We're going to break VWAP and rally. You need to be crushing it every day. And don't be bewildered and run. Be bewildered and ask questions and focus. It's a different environment from investing. Not really. Is it scary? Nope. Is it hard to understand? Absolutely not. But if you come in here for 5 minutes and expect the world, you're not going to get it. It took a whole whopping 2 hours today for me to give you the world. And if that person couldn't wait, I don't know what to tell them. It's disappointing for everybody. It's disappointing for me. Because that person now could be another Jimmy out there. Misinformed, angry, and that hurts what I do for a living. Because I do this better than anybody else. And that person gave me a whopping 5 minutes to impress them, and I'm sure they're feeling very negative about what they experienced. But that's why we do a 2-week get to know you kind of honeymoon. I could actually. You just got to give me a couple of. You got to give me a day or two. In this case, it was an. It just had to give me another hour. And then again, if you were just because you couldn't hear the screen, that's why the Monday trade was pretty awesome. I was walking through it. I didn't even know my screen wasn't up because it looked like it was up, and that was what the glitch was. I thought I was logged in. Apparently, I wasn't even logged in. The wall, the room, the audio was on. Yeah, you had two faux shows, but there really wasn't much of a bro once you got the internet to the VWAP. So you had a new low break, come back, new low, came back, rallied to VWAP. That was the only trade there was, which was 10 points. But when you buy the VWAP break and then it rolls over, I guess it really wasn't until here where you had to take a loss on it. So it really wasn't even that bad. $200, $300 stock, 3 points. But yeah, this thing never got anything going above VWAP. These trades were more like VWAP reversions. I mean, they weren't bad if you played the pivot near the bottom, fake out, shake out. But if you bought the fake out, shake out VWAP break, it really didn't have any follow through. More than 2 points. All right, YouTube, you guys know where to find me, I think. I'll see you guys. Don't blow a good day. And try not to short unless it's an earnings reversal.